Hey guys, you're listening to More About Something Else. On today's episode, we talk about fuck niggas and how it's men's job to do the necessary work to changing their friends. Here's a clip from the show. To perform miracles and die for niggas' sins, that his life wasn't short or cut short because he fulfilled his purpose.
It wasn't short. One thing that people fail to realize is that Jesus was on the scene for a little bit, then he dipped out. And then he came back better than ever.
Wow.
That's what we need. Exactly.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay.
That was good.
Wow.
Okay.
A gem.
Exactly. So that's the thing, go prepared, because when the spotlight is on you, you got to show out. And Jesus was showing out. All right.
And now that you've heard that, let's get into it.
First off, I'm going to have to ask you to go and rate this show. Maybe even leave a comment. And you could do that on iTunes or SoundCloud. And for Android users, you can now listen via Google Play. Now, this podcast may contain explicit content, just saying. So open your mind, relax, and listen to this dope-ass podcast.
Thought coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Hey, food for thought coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest.
If people don't understand that, well, they don't understand nothing.
Truth spilling, leaving victims to my honest ways. I come in peace like an alien from outer space. Internet pirates riding waves on your webpage. Download the shit, click the link, press play. I don't mean to pray, but I pray every week for myself, for my fam, cause we all gotta eat. Protein, no more sweets. Till I'm caked up on the beach in Belize. Food for thought coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait, food for thought coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait.
Yo, you listen to More About Something Else. My name is Joshua. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to Annie and everybody that's been rocking with the show. If you like it, please like it, review it, share it. You can do one or you can do all three. But anyways, we are here and we're actually going to be in the month of December and the year's running out. So the question is, are you doing exactly what you're doing in preparation for next year? Are you chilling? I don't know. We can't really sit here and talk about how 2019 is going to be a good year and we don't even know what we're going to be doing, right? So I always say write it down. But anyways, I like to start off with this. So I seen the movie Creed and it was okay. But I feel like I'll get to that later on in the show. Right now, I have a guest, special guest, the one, the only. She's married to Dwight Howard.
Wow. That's how we're starting off.
She's married to Dwight Howard and
actually unwed guy.
Right. But anyways, we have Peace here. If you don't know, she was on the earlier episodes of the podcast. But welcome.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Peace West. I guess that's my stage name. I did have a crush on Dwight Howard that is causing Joshua to confuse me being married to Dwight Howard. But
Right.
I just want to clarify.
Okay. But anyway,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. But anyways, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good. But that's good. Usually start off the show. Things that bother me. And if you have anything to share, you can go ahead. If you want to go first, I can go last.
Oh, for sure. I can definitely go.
Okay.
Because I want to know your input on this.
Okay.
So while I was driving over here, I was on the Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
Twitter.
You sound like a true Nigerian.
Thank you. I am a true Nigerian. So I was on the Twitter and your friend G Herbo made a post about how essentially same old topic that men love to discuss about how women need to suffer in order to gain marriage. from a man. And so he mentioned how, you know, his parents met when his mom was 16, his dad was 19. And he said, so that means he was -10 at the time. And he said that when he was actually 10 years old is when they got married. So if you do the math, that's like 20 years of her sticking with this bullshit before she got a ring. And he mentioned like going on high speed chases in 2 separate cars, and how like, I guess it proved that his mother was deserving of his father's love. And so what I'm mad about is this fuckboy notion that a woman must suffer with a man in order to be qualified to become his wife. It's like, it's so toxic. It's so stupid. And I just wanted to know, like, do men actually feel like that? Or is this just for men that write and run on sentences?
It's definitely people that write on run on sentences.
Okay.
That's funny.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Okay.
But, you know, as we're going through these conversations that we hear on Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I realize how fragile men are.
That's true. Yeah.
And, you know, it strokes their ego, like, literally, if they can feel more empowered than somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, but that's the thing with, like, men in nature, is that we're so predatory. But it's just like, at what point do you feel like you're obligated, you know? Like, I just don't understand that from a standpoint, like, especially to talk about independent women that they've been talking about lately.
Mm-hmm.
It bothers me because it's just like, let everybody be, you know? And
is this stemming from that video that Marcus made, the guy from
it's been
Love and Hip Hop?
It's been a hot topic before.
Okay.
I mean, even Drake said that he wants he has a desire for independent women to need him, you know, like, so men, I guess they want to be a provider, but the thing about it is just like, you don't even know how to provide for yourself, homeboy.
I mean, that is true. That is true. So, one thing that I also want to touch on is like, I feel like majority of like the relationships that I've had with men, like be it like talking stage, dating stage, or just whatever have you, I feel as though it's like I always had to pull them up. It was never the sense of them pulling me up. And I feel like it's because like as women in nature, we are like we have like this savior complex that is like, it's like our need to, I don't want to say provide, but to nurture. And so I feel like men interpret that, and they use it to be negative. Yeah. You know, like they abuse that the power that, or they abuse the fact that women want to care for them to their advantage, to better themselves, and then just not deposit anything for them. I mean, that's my personal.
It's true. You know, there's a lot of men with no substance in their life whatsoever. They really have nothing to offer. And, you know, just talking about that just in general, I did, when I went to go watch the movie, you know, one thing in particular was that, you know, he did, I'm sorry, I don't want to ruin the movie for you, but he did end up losing in some form or fashion in the movie, right? So he lost, and, you know when men go through things, they don't know how to communicate, whatever, blah, blah. And the thing about it that pointed out was that his girl stuck with him through all the bullshit.
All the bullshit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's just like, yeah, but that's, shut up. But that's the thing. It's just like, it's a two-way street, you know? And I feel like men always have an excuse for certain things, which I just don't understand at this point. Like, everybody's logic, which is Twitter logic, is not valid at all.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like certain people don't need to be talking at all. Or actually, a lot of people. And they take the freedom of speech, and, you know,
too literal.
Yeah, there is literally one group. But I don't know. Men are inferior. Women are coming up.
The thing is, I love exactly where this conversation is going, because, you know, that whole men are trash narrative. So
I don't like the men are trash narrative, because it's just like,
because it's so true.
No, it's not true. Like, you attract what is going on inside you, or
I don't agree. I don't agree at all. It's not like
Then what is it then?
So here's my thing.
Okay.
I feel as though there are way more stupid people than there are intelligent people in this world.
I mean, yeah.
So the likelihood of me encountering someone that is in contrary to like my ideals, my beliefs, like my core values, I feel like is more than likely to occur. So I don't think that I'm trash, and that's why I'm attracting trash men. But that's what you kind of said. You said you attract what's inside of you.
I mean, maybe.
I just feel like there is a high volume of trash ass niggas that are just
maybe you ain't sure.
roaming. Hey, I guess this is a talk for me and my therapist, but
no. Honestly, though, literally, it's just like the people that you have around you if they're not good for you, they represent your weak spots. Like, let's say you're really passive and you always have somebody like always on you, and you're just like, okay. That's it. Like, it's because you don't have, I guess you could say you don't have the balls to say no. For that instance, like, say no, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have an issue with just saying no, just in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you learned how to understand the power of no, then you would actually say no. Are you following me?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I lost my train of thought. It's been happening a lot lately, but it represents the weak spots in you. Okay. That's all I can say. It's not that the chances of you meeting somebody is like, I don't want to say you exactly, but just you exactly as far as like what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's very slim, but that's on you at the end of the day. Because I feel like there's a lot of red flags in the beginning, in the middle.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, like,
but I feel like when you're upon like if we're discussing the same thing, I feel like upon like meeting someone, it's like you're more inclined to see the good than the bad. Because that in my opinion, that's human nature. Like, I want to see the good in people. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think it's necessarily that I'm choosing to ignore red flags. It's like some things, it's like you're trying to qualify, you're trying to understand, like, well, maybe that's just how this person is, or maybe this is their love language or the way they communicate. So I feel like it's not a matter of qualifying or it's not a matter of ignoring their red flags. It's trying to consider them as a whole.
You also have to put into the account what stage somebody's going through in their life.
Well, yeah.
I think that's so important.
But you know, I feel like it's human nature to put your best foot forward. Like, meeting someone is kind of like an interview, and it's like every interview that I've ever went to in my life, like, they fucking love me. I know how to, like, if there's one thing about me, I know how to sell myself. So it's like, if I was to like meet someone, obviously I would present like the best version of myself. There's no reason for me to be, I would say, like, vulnerable initially. I feel like that's something that you have to like build up to. So, I say all that to say, because I lost my train of thought, but I say all that to say that, it's almost kind of like a facade at first. I mean, so it's like that's why people confuse it with the honeymoon stage.
That's when people lie the most. I mean,
I wouldn't say lie. I would just say, like, you show your best, the best parts of yourself.
And I mean, if you gotta embellish a little bit, that's the time, I guess, right?
Okay, so because we know what you do.
No, I'm just saying, if you want to sell yourself, why would I talk about myself at the lower as a lower person when I can talk about myself and give myself high praise? Just in that, like, not to gloat, but hey, like, I did go through all this, and I am where I am because of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Does that?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
But anyways,
so what are you mad about?
Things that bother me. At work, I went to work on Cyber Monday, right? And so I personal train, and there was a glitch in the system. Okay, so when I tell you, at my job, it's expensive to buy personal training, but we're in the area where people can afford it, right? So there's 24 sessions. The regular price is $1,656, $1,656. That's just for people that don't know math.
Okay.
Yeah. But $1,600, right? And I open it to try and sell some fitness, and I see that it's actually on discount for, instead of $1,600, $240.
Wait, 200. Wait, $240?
$240.
Oh, so it's like completely
It
discounted.
was a big ass slash.
That's like 80%,
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I called all my clients because I was excited, and somebody else just bought like 100 sessions, and like people were just buying, and I think within 3 hours we sold like $12,000 in
Wow.
fitness. That's a
Wow.
lot.
Yeah.
And come to find out, it was an error, and
Mm.
so they voided everybody's brand new contract, and then they returned their money. And now I have to explain that they fucked up.
Yeah.
And same thing happened, but like on the retail side, so everything was 50% off,
Mhm.
and all the Nike and all that good stuff was all gone because people started buying them.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is just like, but y'all wasn't gonna get the money back from the client. I mean, not clients, but the members that bought all that stuff, and they're probably gonna sell it. I would have sold it, you know. I don't have no remorse, but they didn't ask them for their money back. You see, what I'm
As far
saying?
as like the merchandise,
Yeah.
but they're asking for the money back as far as the
So we
service.
we lose out on money because of that. So that's one thing that pissed me off. The other thing is that as I was going, like I go to the barbershop and stuff, and you know, I see people doing their business ventures and whatever. And one thing that I don't understand is that people aren't willing to think big, right?
Mhm.
Like I don't understand for sure is that if you're a barber and you cut hair, right?
Mhm.
That's
Just-
what barbers do, right?
That's how you get your job.
Exactly. If that happens, what else are you doing on the side? Like, if you're a barber, you should have your own beard oil. Oh shit! You should have your own beard oil. Or
What if the barber doesn't have a beard? What if the barber's a woman? Wow, ladies and gentlemen,
Don't do
Josh is
don't
sexist.
do that.
Wow.
Nah, one time this woman cut my brother's hair and she gave him a round edge up, and ever since that day,
Aw.
I was just like,
Well, I could hear guys, so hit me up. Peace West Cuts.
shit. But yeah, but just like, but understand that, you know, if you have a beard, have your own beard oil. You can sell that on the side on top of the haircut that you just did for this person. So instead of paying $20 for a haircut, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are paying a lot more. But instead of $20 for a haircut, you can end up paying $35 a haircut. And hey, bro,
So
It helps you
you're
out.
so what you're mad about is that your barber is
It's
not
not- it's-
ambitious
but
enough.
no, it's not. But it's not just that. Like I can say for a hairstylist,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it's called, right? A
Yeah.
hairstylist, the people that do
yeah,
whatever,
whatever
right?
you want to call it.
All right, so why don't you have your own conditioner, right? You can make those type of things, right?
I'm sure.
Exactly. It's a DIY.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do that. So why don't you sell those type of products while you're
Okay, but it's like you're saying like, "Hey, Peace, you're a woman. You have titties. Go sell bras."
Nah.
What? Like,
But that's
like my thing is like you can't fault people for not being ambitious. Like maybe that's not what they're called to do. Or maybe they just want to. They're content with just cutting hair, and they want to be the damn best hair cutter
Nah.
or beautician.
We are a great generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that I personally feel like people don't think big enough.
Okay.
Look at the bigger picture.
Okay, no. So you're a personal trainer. Why don't you have your own workout video? Why don't you sell that? Why don't you start a boot camp?
I do.
Oh,
See.
wait. Okay. Well, where's that?
Well, when the next one starts, I'll let you know.
Okay, sure.
Don't-
Wait, is this the boot camp or is this?
This is everything. I do it. I do it all. You know. I
Okay.
do my own little side thing because it's just like, now we're talking about streams of income. You know.
Uh huh.
Like literally, if you have your own line of beard oil or hair conditioner, or what else is there? It's just something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, all right, how much money am I going to come home with at the end of the day? Oh, okay, I cut 10 people's hair at $20 a pop. How much is that?
200.
$200. Okay, so I made $200 today. All right, it's good, but how do I make more? All right, 5 people came in and they wanted to purchase my beard oil, and I sold it at $20. How much is that?
5 you so you 300.
$300. Exactly. So would you rather have 200 or 300?
I would always rather have more money.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so while I understand that, are you just employing people to step their cookies up so you can give them more money?
I don't mind.
Because another solution would be just to tip your barber more so he could become more ambitious.
Look, I tip my barber, but people don't tip their barber. People just don't understand how to tip.
That's true.
They don't understand the value of it.
That's true. I used to be a server, so
no, yeah. Like the serving life was I really gained a lot of appreciation, and I'm sitting there as we're at a restaurant, and I'm packing everything, and I don't even work there. Just pack the food, put it to the side. That's just how I do it, and then I end up tipping too, because it's like I know you're not working for $2.13. Like you're working for your actual money.
Yeah.
But that's to say, overall, just to end a segment, please learn how to think bigger, whatever field that you're in, because literally, like, especially there's a lot of what's this thing called on YouTube? Makeup artists.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like everybody want to be a makeup artist. But my whole thing about it is like, and even with that, like what separates you from everybody else at the end of the day? Because I can go to anybody and they can cut my hair or do makeup or do hair.
Mm-hmm.
But how does that help me? How do I know that you're the best? Simple pictures and videos is not going to help me out. How can I tell my friend like, hey, they're bomb, they have extra incentives too. And that's just what makes things so much better for whoever, because you have value now. Mm-hmm. Value being the key point. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But those are things that bother me.
Understandably so.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't know. So, how have you been?
I've been good. I mean, life is life, but
what does that mean?
Like, you gotta take the good with the bad. Like,
what does that mean?
So there are good things in life that you will happily accept. Mm-hmm. There are bad things in life that you may not want to accept, but it's life. So you have to take the good with the bad.
So you're saying that for a reason. All right.
Okay.
So what's up?
Wow. So we're going there?
We're not going there. We don't have to go there, but you have to explain what you're saying.
All I'm saying is that there are good things happening in my life.
She's gonna repeat the same sentence.
Okay. So I quit my job.
Okay.
Since we're just going there, I quit my job. I was a teacher. I quit my job, and
why'd you quit your job?
Just I was tired of the fuck shit. How do I put this diplomatically? I just was tired of being unhappy. I was tired of waking up miserable, like dragging my feet through work. And I felt like it was a necessary break that I needed to make. So I made that transition. And so it wasn't like a peaceful transition at first, but I had to learn to find peace within my situation. And so now it's like a battle of building up my self-esteem and trying to like navigate through finding my purpose. And it's like, that's very trying. And it's, it's a necessary process if I want to grow, and that is my goal. But there's no like handbook. So, so life is life. It's, so it's like, I'm happy to be free. But at the same time, it's like what you were saying, just trying to try my hand at new things so I can have like a steady source of income. And yeah, so.
So what do you like? That's the real question. Yeah.
Well, I thought I liked basketball, but the Rockets are gonna rock it. I do love basketball because as we're sitting here, Josh is wearing a Golden State stupid Warrior shirt, and I'm triggered. But I do like writing, but I think I'm more so I'm kind of falling in love, I guess, with like storytelling. I think just because like the type of person I am is like people like to listen to me, and it's like I like to entertain, I guess, like with my words. So I don't know. it's like I'm still trying to find myself, basically. So it's like I know the stuff that I like, but it's like, what's the stuff that I like that I want to do forever? So I guess that's just what I'm going through.
I mean, is it hard?
It's very hard. It's extremely hard because like I feel like I can cook, but not well enough that I would do it at like a mass volume and quantity and open up a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like I can cook what I like to eat, but I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you can be good at something, you can like something, but you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, you can like something, you can be good at something, but is it something that you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I'm 25 years old right now. I was fresh off a career. I mean, I can always go back to teaching, just find, an environment that's suitable for me. But it's like, was I happy in that environment?
Yeah.
And I think I was telling you earlier this week that I guess, like, not that I'm trying to go back into the what are you mad at segment, but something that kind of irritates me is like when people ask me like what are my long and short term goals, at least for right now, because like I'm in the period of transition. And so
gray area.
Yeah. And so it's like, I mean, like when people ask me like what are my short term goals or long term goals, like in short, it's to be happy. But that doesn't.
Okay, so that's the thing now. Is like, what does happiness mean to you? Because it's not the first time you said this. You've
well, it's because I am able to recognize that there are things in life that don't make me happy or that I am unhappy about, and so I feel like if I can like achieve a status where I am content and appreciative or overly zealous or what is the word? Y'all get what I'm trying to. Yeah. But yeah, if I can get to a state of like if I could reach that state of peace, I feel like that's where I want to be. So it's like honestly, like not having a job, that doesn't make me unhappy. Like it's cool waking up, going to the gym, doing whatever I please. Like, like right now, money isn't exactly like an issue. So it's like, but what I'm unhappy about is the fact that I don't feel like I'm actively contributing to society. I don't feel like I'm, fulfilling like my purpose. I don't feel like I guess the word is like titillating my brain in the way that it should be used. I don't feel like I'm maximizing on my my potential, and that makes me unhappy.
Why not though?
Just because everything is a phase, and I feel like maybe I'm abusing this because I see this season as my time to rest and rebuild, and I think because I've been unemployed now for I believe a month and maybe 2 days now. And so it's just kind of like, I feel like when I finally, am done with the season of rest, then I'll be able to transition to rebuilding and rebranding. And
are you still in that season?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get out of my own head and out of my own way. So yeah.
I mean, have you ever thought about giving yourself a timetable?
Well, here's the thing. Life is a very, very funny bitch. So it's like, if I say I want to do this by this time, it's not that I don't feel like I'll be able to reach that goal. It's just that, there's a lot of things that I feel like I should have accomplished by this age. So,
I mean, we all really thought that we were going to get married after college.
At 23.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what we thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In this economy. But no, it's just like there's a lot of things that I thought I would have accomplished. So it's like I don't mind giving myself a timetable, but it's like there's honestly so many questions that I have for myself that I haven't found the answers to.
Questions like what?
Like, what do I want to do? What was gonna make me happy? Or I mean, those are just like the basic questions that are coming to me right now. So it's like, as far as giving myself a timetable, I guess I could give myself a timetable of like when to either have like a different source of income or when to like pick a passion, but I don't know. So it's like I'm trying to let as much good things flow to me so like good things can come out. And I heard that Mercury's in retrograde, which I don't know what that means, but apparently from what I'm hearing, it means that a whole bunch of good stuff is about to happen.
If what? If you do what?
I don't. They just tell me that Mercury's in retrograde.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can Google it, but I heard it's a good thing.
Say, man, if you really like the show, and I assume that you like it because you're still listening to the show, but if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please, 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 write us a review. It helps people find the show, for one, and it also gives people an idea of what's going on in the show without actually listening. So, it attracts other people, and I'm just asking, if you don't want to, it's cool. If you do, God bless you. Now back to the show. There's a lot of You good?
Yes.
All right. There's a lot of information out there about how you can be better, or live your life better, but the truth is not everybody knows everything about you, right? I've been telling people like, you're gonna have to figure it out. And the reason why I say you're gonna have to figure it out is because literally once you figure it out, then it's on to the next thing, because you're gonna be at your whole life you're gonna be battling, but it's like, all right, I'm gonna be battling, but God is by my side. Yeah, God is gonna do all the work. You just have to do your part. You see what I'm saying? So when I say do your part, that means, am I living the life that I'm supposed to live? Like, am I getting up on time? Am I treating myself well? And we talk about self-care all the time, but it's like, literally, self-care doesn't mean go shop. Self-care doesn't mean to pamper yourself. You also have
mimosas.
Yeah, exactly. What's this? Mimosa Sundays? I don't know.
Sunday Fun Day.
Sunday. Oh yeah. I'm always in church, so I can't enjoy that.
Oh my gosh, I sit in church and I feel like, dang, when he's done, I'm about to go to Dish Society. I'm gonna get my tacos. I'm gonna get my my mimosas. They do these flight mimosas, and then if you come at the right time, you get beignets. But yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry.
So the last thing that I said was,
you said something about how like self-care doesn't mean...
Oh yeah, self-care does not mean to pamper yourself. It just doesn't. To realize that those things are temporary, you actually have to build yourself from within. And like one of the things that it's a conflict when I'm training my clients, and they're always like, how come we're not doing any ab workouts or whatever? And the thing about that is just like, first of all, you're 300 pounds, right?
Wow.
No, but like it's a thing. Like, we cannot deny that the stomach is there, okay? But what I do tell people, and it's not that it's a lie or anything, but it's so true, is that what we're doing is building from the inside out. See, all you're seeing is everything from the outside, but you haven't seen all the progress that you've done after you shred everything. So build from the inside and let it take its time, because once it's there, it's there. You see what I'm saying? But those are little things that you just have to think about and worry about. I always tell people to meditate. It's probably one of the most important things. But literally, like, to meditate is not that hard. But
Side note.
Okay.
So, you told me to meditate earlier this week, and you said that I should do it every morning.
Yeah.
I want to say that I forgot to do it yesterday, but I did it today, and that's why I was late. So blame yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out.
You were late the other day, too. What was it? What was going on?
I was 3 minutes late, guys. Today I was 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
This is coming from someone who was always chronically 30 minutes late. So if we're not gonna clap for my progress,
See,
I
niggas always
don't
want,
have time for your negativity.
Niggas always want recognition for shit that they supposed to do.
Wow.
I take care of my kids. I make sure that they eat and they got clothes on their back. You supposed to do that.
Okay, Chris Rock. Okay.
No, but literally one step at a time, you know. And even like going back to like your goals and stuff. Yeah, like people are gonna bombard you with those type of things, but for the longest, I used to tell people anything. I'm just saying, well, yeah, you know, I'm gonna do my thing, and that's it. Just to let people leave me alone. But how beneficial is that to me? Is not, you know. And people don't understand like taking your time and whatever because they feel like life is too short, which I don't think life is short. We get every single opportunity to do better. We just choose not to.
Okay. So you're saying that like even if someone's life was like for let's say 34 years, like okay, so no, let's use Jesus. He lived to be 33. So in today's society, 33 is not a very long life. I'm sure back then that wasn't a long life because niggas was living to like hundreds and thousands of years.
They stopped that. They stopped that in the New Testament. Like,
Okay,
I mean, I did it in the Old Testament.
Is it like with the I don't even remember the guy's name, but I know what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is like I feel like in any span of life, 33 is fairly young.
Yeah.
So are you saying that because Jesus was able to like perform miracles and die for niggas' sins, that like his life wasn't short or cut short because he fulfilled his purpose?
It wasn't short. You know, one thing that people fail to realize is that Jesus was on the scene for a little bit, then he dipped out. And then he came back better than ever.
Wow.
That's what we need. Exactly.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay.
That was good.
Wow.
Okay.
A gem.
Exactly. So that's the thing, like, go prepare, you know? Because when the spotlight is on you, you got to show out. And
That's
Jesus was
true.
showing out. All right?
Yeah.
Don't mess with Jesus. But
Put that on a shirt.
no,
niggas will actually put that on a shirt and sell it for $25.
I don't like
dollars.
I don't have any
or a $35 hoodie.
I wouldn't have any remorse if I did that. But I mean I made it up. Well, I didn't make it up, but you know. But yeah, like it takes time, you know.
Wait, can I ask this "Don't Mess with Jesus" shirt, would it be like Jesus holding like a double cup? I'm not putting. Okay,
I'm not putting Jesus' picture on there.
Or like with a bandana or something. Thug life.
I don't know if it will be perceived as how I envisioned it to be.
Okay,
you know?
I just had to ask.
I mean, I would, but you know.
But back to what you were saying.
Yeah, preparation is so important. But even if you feel like things are moving so slow, like set a goal. Yeah. One goal a week. Like I write down all the shit that I gotta do, and that is my goal, like to get everything done. And that shit is so hard. Yeah. And I forget, and I don't want to do it, or I talk myself out of doing things, which I do a lot. Yeah. And
which is so easy to talk yourself out of doing something.
So easy.
Yeah.
But you literally got to figure it out. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But that's on you. There was another thing that I wanted to ask you. Oh, and it's not even that it bothers me. It's just something that we're going on now. And it's just like, let's just say identity, right? Which is so important. And how people are trying to have a moral high standard of how they live or how they view and how it's perceived from everybody else. So look at me, I'm holier than thou. And that's all we see now is that people are holier than thou. For example, Christians, right? So one thing that bothers me right now, just as far as like just people in general, because I've been trying to come in contact with people and everybody is always in competition about who is the better person. You see what I'm saying? But my whole thing about it now is just like, what's wrong with being yourself?
I think it's that people are typically unhappy. Like I have admitted that I'm unhappy. So it's like, I think that this is the perfect time for the enemy to use, comparison to be the thief of my joy.
Pause.
Yes.
What does the enemy mean to you?
The enemy, the ops, when I said the enemy, I'm referring to Satan.
Okay.
But just anything that
how much power do you think Satan has over you as an individual?
Okay, I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know if okay, so in my opinion, how I feel is that there's sin, there's temptation, and I feel like the devil has a hand in that. So if I'm at home by myself bored, it's the devil could use me in different ways to fulfill his agenda, which is to get me to sin, is what I feel like. But and it's also my doing, you know what I'm saying? So it's I don't know if you want me to be literal, oh, he made me do it, or if you want me to take ownership of I chose to do it. But what I'm trying to say is that since I expressed that I am unhappy with certain aspects of my life, at this point it's very easy for me to compare myself to others. And it's it doesn't necessarily mean that I hate myself or I'm not pleased with being me. It's just I see my potential and I know that I should be doing better. So because I know myself the most. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird complex that we feel like we should be doing better, but it's just have we actually analyzed everything that's going on in our life and figured out why we're supposed to be doing better,
Well, I don't think it's a matter of because I don't think you can analyze your life in totality. You have to do it in many facets and stuff like that.
But that's the thing. You have time now. You have time to do that.
You said because I'm unemployed? Oh, I mean, well, no, but
you said you're in your resting stage. So
hey, listen.
You're the one that.
Hey, listen. I'm trying to make the joke before anybody makes the joke for me. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, especially in this day and age. I was just telling my friend actually, that it's Instagram is where everybody is doing their best, looking their best, appearing their best, and showing their best self. Whereas it's Twitter is where all that shit goes to die. Yeah. And it's we all self-love and we beat ourselves up and we big ourselves up in knowing that we're not alone in this fuck shit. So, I mean, there's beauty in the struggle. J. Cole said it. I'm saying it. Yeah, so I mean it's facts. Right. So, but I just feel like it is easy to get caught up because you might see someone else doing something, and it's just how our parents say does that person have two heads? So it's just what's so different about that person that they're able to accomplish their stuff that I can't do that for me, and I don't feel like people do it to internally beat themselves up. I think people, it's a weird process. I feel like people do it to big themselves up. Man, if this nigga could do it, I can do it too. So
I mean, I felt like that, but at the same time, I was just all right, I gotta stop looking at what people have,
because you don't know how they got it, or
it's not even that, and it's generally we're on the same page as far as what we're talking about vice signaling. And you really have to meet somebody to know somebody, first of all. Just because somebody has something, you don't know how they got it, first of all. But who they are is much more important. I always say, is you talked about the interview process, about they love you, right? Doesn't matter about your resume. People are sitting here at jobs that they want to make sure that they have enough experience. I'm I don't give a fuck about experience no more. We just let some nigga in the office, and he's never had any type of political background whatsoever. So it's about who you are at the end of the day. How am I going to create value, which is so important. See, but to create value, you have to be somebody, and everybody wants to be like everybody else, that they just don't know how to be themselves.
Well, again, it's and because what you're saying is true, but there's no formula to being the best you. There's no book. There's no book for me of how to be the best Peace.
Of course.
There's no book for how to be the best Josh. So I feel like you see what I'm saying? It's like people are just looking to what they interpret as success.
Yeah.
So if it happens to be like, you know how like Diddy will tweet something,
Yeah, shut up.
and
Baby.
it's just like he like that ain't gonna be like you have the same 24 hours in a day or something.
Yeah.
Just something, and it's just like, hold on, Diddy, like we're not.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's just like everyone's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but see, that's the thing too. It's just like we talking about. There's no formula. Of course, there's no formula. This is my issue about like people on social media and people that write books that they want to be held to a higher standard because it worked for them. So of course they're going to try and spread that and say, okay, look, like it's gonna work for you. Like apparently everybody has a formula to success, but it's not that many successful people, you know.
yeah,
And a lot of people, especially with social media, they're equating success to money or to having things, and that's necessarily not what it's about. I mean, what does success mean to you?
I'll let you know when I'm successful. No, I don't honestly, I don't know. It's like, you know, what's crazy is like questions like this, like, oh, what are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? What is success to you? What do you want to do when you're old? Or like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, these are questions that they would ask us when we were younger. And I could answer this shit. Cause like I hadn't experienced life.
Yeah.
Like life hadn't, you know what I'm saying? Like attacked me. So it's like the possibilities were endless. But it's like now that I know like the trials and tribulations of life, it's not as easy to answer those questions. Perhaps because I know the limitations of life, and I guess I'm trying to operate under the premise or the guides or the parameters or the guidelines that life affords me.
I mean, see, that's the thing.
So I don't know how to answer your question.
That's the thing. It's just like you're saying that there's parameters, all right? So let's go to sports, right? Kobe came out and he was just like, not even he came out, he wrote it in his book that, I got the book right here.
I believe you.
But he comes out and he says that I read
the referee's handbook,
yeah,
so he could know.
see what he can get away with. And that's the thing. You just have to figure out what you can get away with.
No,
right?
yeah. So basically, like you're saying, like school life, like kind of cheat life in a sense.
Not cheat life. You can call it a hack.
Okay.
I think that's a better word to use. But
because doesn't cheating life mean like you're supposed to die, but then
nah, yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're doing all the wrong things, pretty much. I mean, cheating is referenced with all negative.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but
So it has like a negative connotation. Okay. Well. Okay, so you were basically saying that
work with what you have.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, but
Extremely.
it's okay. I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, life is gonna get better. It just takes time.
It's so funny because like okay, so isn't it funny how like people always have like the notion that the future has to be better than the past? Like I just always thought about that.
I mean, yeah, like we're always.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't have like that outlook, but
yes, like it's weird. I mean, we do talk about it a lot because that's what we're aiming for, right? But I think that the main issue right now is that we're so focused on our future, especially if we have somebody in our ear asking us what we're going to do with our life. So we actually have to think about that. And the whole time it's just like, well, you need to worry about what's going on right now, you know? I think that's so important to be present, first of all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like literally, if you're here, you can take advantage of the time. And like literally, a lot of people, we talk about time and stuff, and we really sit here and like I had a meltdown at one point because I was just like, oh my god, what the fuck do I do with myself? You know, that shit is scary.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just gotta stand still and be resilient. You know. one thing that I did, like, I thought about it too because, graduation is upon us, right?
Mm.
And I feel like,
Congrats.
oh no, it's not me. I don't care about that shit, man.
Okay.
But yeah, graduation is upon us, and it's, how high school, we get out of high school and we're supposed to go to college, and this is us. We have to determine our life right then and there, right? I don't think that it's appropriate for people to go to college right after high school.
So, like,
There should be some type of buffer, whether it's a prep school, whether it's not even a prep school, but something, in other countries, they tell them to go to college and then they go to university. It's two separate things. College, university. You can think of it. We usually call it, you good? We usually call it community college, right? But theirs is an actual college which prepares them. That's why they're a lot much successful in that field. And it's less as far as money and everything. And like I feel like we're so you pay student loans?
So it's just the IRS listening. I'm supposed to be, but I'm supposed to have been, but they don't contact me, and I don't know who to contact.
And
then also I'm unemployed, so like,
Yeah,
if y'all try to reach me, guys, I'm
yeah,
unemployed.
We
But
get-
I do want to start paying.
Yeah.
I just,
Of course.
yeah.
Is it a large sum or a small sum? It's
nothing that I want to do.
Okay.
like,
Okay.
So
All right. I can put a number in my head.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Can I know your number? I'm. Let's play a game. Is it higher or lower?
It's low.
No. Say a number. I'm sorry if it's higher or lower. The number that I think it is.
For you,
Yeah, for my student loan.
it's
So
like 30.
higher,
Woo. I was thinking actually like 45,
lower,
40,
lower.
38.
Yeah, I think it's like somewhere around there. Yeah,
All right.
but IRS, if you're listening, you can lower it. Or is it Sally Mae? Who should I be directing this towards?
Sally Mae.
Sally Mae. Yeah, I mean you can cut that in about a fourth
Definitely.
and divide it by 2.
But yeah, I think that we rely too much on 18-year-olds to try and make a decision.
Yeah.
Like one thing I regret was going straight to school, and I could have like not went to school for a year or two. But Africans, they look at you and be like, "What's wrong with you, dog?"
Well, so like, one of my closest friends, I've actually known her for 15 years. Shout out to Keisha. She has known that she wanted to be a lawyer since 2nd grade. And so it's like I had the privilege and the honor to like, watch her grow into becoming a lawyer. She just passed the DC bar. So, to me, it's just like she knew that at the age of 7 or 8. And it's commendable.
Some people are
and I feel like she had the right people in her place in place in her life to nurture that.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like who doesn't want a child to become a lawyer?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's just like they push certain things, as far as
and
parents, and society, because a lot of the jobs that we hold high praise for don't really deserve it in some form or fashion. Like doctors think they're all the way up here, and they don't even know that half their issues is nutrition, right? I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't because at first I was like, hey, hold on, but you make a valid point.
Yeah, and I mean, like literally, there's plumbing, there's carpenter, like these little trade jobs that it makes so much more money for them because we're always gonna need that.
Yeah.
As to we're always gonna need a doctor. We're always gonna need a doctor as long as they're pushing all this stuff in the food that we eat. But carpenter, plumber, like we look down on that because it's dirty.
It's
work.
a labor job.
Yeah, it's labor. Like nobody wants to do labor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to do labor. I've done it before, and I don't want to say it's not me. I don't want to say I'm above it either, but
I get what you just don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but shout out to construction workers because like I think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Like when you're like say you're driving to work, right? And you pass up like something that's getting built. It's like I love watching like the progression.
Yeah.
Like I just think that's like the coolest thing. Like
like if they had a time lapse of
like that shit is absolutely dope to me. I would never fucking do it.
See, that's an idea that I'd be having ideas, man.
Yeah.
time lapse, and then you can show that to potential.
Buy a drone.
Exactly. Potential prospect people that want to buy, you can send it to them and see, look, this is a process, you know. Because anybody can show a picture, but you know, a picture ain't shit. And that's another thing too. Like construction people, they make a lot of money.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, like literally, I have my one client. She's a stay-at-home mom, right? And she literally the shit that she tells me she spends money on, I'm just like, damn, like, you know, God bless me, you know.
Is her husband a construction worker?
Yeah. He's like, well, he's like you work your way up eventually, you know. I would hope so, you know. And he's making 6 figures, and they just spend money like it's nothing. Yeah, we went here, we did this, we did that. Yeah, I mean. Once again, I mean, I don't want to be looking at anybody like that. I'm just saying, like, the luxury of that is what I want. But you know, another thing that I realized about white women is that they're more. I think a lot of women have it easier as far as being successful
in comparison to black women.
Every other woman, I can say that.
Okay.
Hear me out. All right. So
I'm not negating it. I just want to know where you're going.
Oh yeah, like, all right. So the man goes to work and he makes enough for
her to do nothing.
But of course, she's going to be bored or whatever. So of course, they come up with these little inventions. You know, like, I just felt like I needed this because I couldn't believe that I hold my baby like this and I didn't have my arm like this. So I made this little pillow and. Wow, and she ends up going 6 figures on that, you know? Have you ever heard? You don't know.
So basically, you're saying that, like, rich people, or in particular white women, have the luxury of creating
stay-at-home. How many? I hate saying people of color, but how many people of color? How many wives stay at home?
I couldn't give you a figure, but I guess what you're indicating is that it's disproportionate to the number of white women that are afforded the luxury of staying at home. And
the fact that they utilize their time, because at that point, a lot of people is just like, you've done stuff with the kids, like you've dealt with the kids, like it almost seems like it gets boring, you know? And that's where they pick up the zeal to do something new, you know? Like they have the opportunity to do something new. Or they have the opportunity to figure out who they are for themselves because they have the luxury of staying at home.
I mean, I see where you're going. I just feel like I can't really comment because it's like I don't know the ins and outs of every, you know what I'm saying?
We don't,
But I see where you're, why you would feel like that.
Like if we can count how many of these baby inventions that were made. Think about how many of them came from white women as to compare to anywhere else. And literally,
what if they came from white men? Like, honestly, I don't know.
It's okay.
I've never looked up a baby invention.
It's okay. I mean, but like, I don't have no kids, so I don't know why I'm looking for something. But I mean, it's just in that if I could look it up, I'll look it up. But that's to say, I don't know. Anyways.
So are you trying to indicate that more black women or more women of color should have the space and opportunity to create useless inventions?
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be useless.
Well, that was me being sarcastic.
But okay, so, I mean, it doesn't even have to be like useless. It can be more into your career, or you really figure out what you love doing. Like a lot of moms love doing yoga, you know? And sometimes, or some of these moms, they end up opening up their own little thing, their own little studio, and becoming, like super successful at it. Like I listened to a story. It's called, I think it's called Bar Pilates or it's some type of Pilates. Like she quit her job, and the husband was working, and now they're like super successful because the husband allowed her to do all these things. And you know, let's backtrack to Creed, right? About how the girl was doing all she dealt with all the shit that he what's the dude's name? Adonis. You know, that's his name, right? Yeah. So she allowed him to do all that, and you know, going through that, and we allow men to do all these things, like to put you through all this shit.
I'm listening.
I didn't like it was like a roll eyes type of thing.
I'm listening.
Yeah, but we allow that, and we don't really realize how strong women are and how much more potential they have than men, because for men we fucked up. We fucked up the whole world, literally over some jealousy. You know, I think that's how it all started, with jealousy.
Well, see, I don't know if we're taking it back to the Bible when Eve ate the apple, because then it's like, okay, is it really? Are you saying man as in men? Are you saying man as in mankind?
Man as a man.
Oh, man as a man.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, hey, I'm all here for men bashing. So yes, y'all fucked up the world. Yes, in every facet of the term.
You and this little men ain't shit wave.
Hey.
I'm tired of you and your little Twitter followers. Men ain't shit.
If you are listening, guys, you're not my little Twitter followers. You are my band of bad bitches that realize that men are trash. I'm saying it again. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So what happens when you find somebody and they're not trash? Is that going to change your perception of men, or
when that happens? When it happens, I don't know. Well, so here's the thing. Not all men are trash. It's just majority of men are trash. And
I don't know. When you say men are trash, you lump the good ones in with the bad ones.
No, I just feel like men are trash, right? But like, for instance, like my best friend is a guy, and I feel like and he's told me, like, because of me, like my experiences, like he has it's caused him to rethink how he interacts with women, because he sees how like if I tell him like, man, this nigga da da da, it's like he internalizes it, he considers what I'm saying, and then he is now a better person because of my experience as a woman. Or now he's a better man because of my experience as a woman. And vice versa. It's like, you know, he provides me with like insight into like the male mind and stuff like that. So we appreciate each other in that sense. And I say all that to say that it's good that like the presence, like my presence in his life is like positive in his life. I think I just said that. But what I feel is that, and it's not a knock on him or anything, but like I feel like more men that are good, y'all should have more conversations with your friends that are bad. You know what I mean? Like the whole
I think it's a lot of men don't
hold each other accountable. Yeah, like even like if we're gonna get into like the whole like rape culture discussion, it's just like a lot of niggas out there don't realize that they're actually in fact rapists. A lot of men do not identify as rapists because everyone, for whatever reason, feels like a rapist is like a creepy man in an alley that attacks you. But no, it could actually be your husband. It could be your boyfriend. It could be a nigga at a party. It could like literally it could be you if you're listening. So I feel like if more men did the necessary work to communicate, like, you know, like call your brothers out, like if they're doing something like that's destructive or offensive to women, like I get it, it's not the norm, it's not what's in, it's not what's hot, and it might even in some cases be uncomfortable, but it's just kind of like it's just like it's just necessary work, because I feel like as women, not only just because we're judgmental, but like also because like going back to what I said about us being like natural nurturers, I feel like we want to see the best in people. So it's like literally just yesterday, like, and even just Sunday, I was crying both days and my friends had to pick me up. You see what I'm saying? And so like, and that was necessary for my growth. Like having these real nigga conversations are necessary for my growth. And I feel like women are afforded that opportunity to grow with the people that are in their lives. However, it's like men will continue to stay in their trash because nobody's challenging it. And it's like whenever a woman is challenging a man to do better, it's perceived negatively. And in turn, it's like they reject it and they don't want to accept that there's work that needs to be done. So I say all that to say, yes, men are trash. If you're rolling your eyes like Josh and you feel like you're not trash, then prove me wrong. And change a nigga's life and make him not trash. Recycle him. repurpose him,
I mean,
invest in him. Cause it's getting really exhausting being a woman raising a nigga. Like it's getting out of hand. So that's that on that.
you said your little 2 cents. Like,
It was like $40. Okay, don't even try to. It wasn't no 2 cents. It was like $40 whole dollars.
I mean,
So.
yeah, men don't hold each other accountable, and men that are complacent don't like to be challenged. And
That's true.
yeah, I see it a lot with like, especially in relationships, how, or not even relationships too, it's just like, especially these D1 athletes, that's their weakness.
That their coach is the
Yeah.
reason that they didn't go pro.
Yeah,
Head ass. Wow.
but I don't know. That's all to say, everything is weird.
In what?
Just that whole men aren't being held accountable as far as just in general in their whole life. But that's the thing. It's just like, you also have to realize that men were raised to, we're raised to be men. Like, we show no emotion. We don't communicate. We don't talk to our women. We don't talk to women a certain way. We talk to them with no respect or whatever. But it seems like what's working is working for men right now. Just as far as like treating women the way they treat them, moving the way they move, being comfortable in certain situations. And that's what's been accepted for so long. It's just the fact that women are getting smarter, or women are getting tired of this shit, you know? That's just the downfall in this all. But I don't see how things can get fixed from here if people aren't willing to be accountable by themselves. Because we got all these social justice warriors on social media that try to shame everybody for certain things. Then
Sometimes y'all need to be shamed. Well, let me ask you this, because it's like okay. So what I've picked up on is that I keep saying that men are trash. You keep saying no, they're not, right? So if men are not trash, what are they? Like, what would you say that they are? Because I think we can both identify that with like the male species, there's work that needs to be done, right?
Yeah, of course.
So my thing is, y'all don't like when we call you trash, which makes sense, because if I want you to change, I can't just keep attacking the negative things about you. And I'll admit that. As a woman, I'll admit that. So what do you suggest should be our approach? Like, I guess women's approach, or even people's approach to addressing like the faults of men? Because it's like, y'all won't do the work, because no one's ever asked y'all to be accountable for your actions besides the women that y'all treat negatively and send on high speed chases for 20 years to raise someone to name themselves G Herbo to. Anyways, I just want to know, okay, so what's it going to take for y'all to not be trash? Like, what's it going to take for y'all to step up? As someone who is considering himself not trash.
Shit. I mean, personally, just being a better person, just in general.
But okay, so but you're saying that there's no formula.
There
so
is
it's like, if I'm telling an ain't shit nigga, let's just be honest, if I'm telling an ain't shit nigga, just be a better person. Nigga don't know that.
I mean,
he was raised on high speed chases.
Yeah,
so like,
that's the thing. It's just like, you can't do anything without cooperation, to be honest. I don't think that there's anything that you can really tell somebody that's stuck in their ways and they feel like, and I don't want to say that men give women too much stock, but I don't think that's, I really don't even think that's the right thing to say, but men they give women everything, whatever, and I don't know, I just feel like, not even from the men's perspective, but from women, just like, stop entertaining this shit. Like,
okay, well, so here's the thing. So now okay.
I don't want to say
no, because now it's our job.
Oh my God.
Now it's our job
It's
to be lonely because niggas are stupid. Which, hey, I mean, that's cool, but I'm just saying, like,
I don't want, but I'm not saying be lonely or anything. Like,
but you're basically suggesting that we swear off niggas until they act right? But y'all won't act right. You're stupid. Like, niggas are like, so I'm so confused. What's the answer, Josh?
look, I personally don't have an answer.
Okay.
I mean, I know that for sure that I've been in my ways before,
Mhm.
personally, but I also have been holding myself accountable lately. But that's because I've been able to reflect back on things.
Okay.
But
Such as?
you know, just an argument that went south. I mean, something that went south, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or something that I did that I may have not perceived as me being in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the issue with men, is that they never see themselves as being in the wrong because they feel like they logically think. So
That's true. A lot
Yeah.
of men feel like they're more logical and they
Yeah.
feel like women are more emotional and that our emotions fail us.
no,
No,
women, I mean, yeah,
I feel like men really
I-
do think that they have a
oh yeah,
logical sense.
I mean, yeah, you know, women, huh?
And I said logical sense. I meant logical sex, but I
Mm.
said they're not. Sorry. You
But
can say.
women in the justice system, when they're persecuted, let's say I committed a murder and you killed a murder, your sentence is going to be higher because you thought about the process. Men, they literally,
You're like, oh, he's a fuckboy.
yeah,
Give him 5 years.
exactly. Women will get double sentence. I'm so serious because everything that a woman does is premeditated, especially if she cheats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can only give you the cheating. I don't think. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe even the murder. Actually, yeah. Okay, I can see what you're saying.
Mhm.
I would have to look it up to see like if women's sentences are actually longer than men.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually an interesting case study that I hope one of you sociologists go attack, because sometimes I feel like
All right.
I'm just saying, like, I wanna fact check you.
Okay.
Can't have you out here like y'all's president. But no, I kind of do agree, like, as far as like the premeditation of cheating. I can see that.
I mean, anything that a woman does is premeditated at this point, right?
Okay. I don't know, because now it's like I'm self-incriminating. Or but
men ain't shit.
but no, men are not shit. Women are the shit. Yes.
Okay.
But that on a shirt. No. It's not catchy enough.
That's
Okay. Jesus,
That's
what
a-
was yours? Jesus is dope, or what was yours? Jesus is a real nigga. What did you say earlier?
I have no shame.
Oh,
But,
don't mess with Jesus. Okay. All right. No, but I mean, hey. At least for me, I do think about everything I do. I overthink, so I guess I can agree with you in that sense. But
you make it seem like it was so hard to agree with me.
it's often very hard
Mm.
to agree with you.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. It is. But I don't know what the answer is. I can't.
As far as like what y'all need to do.
Yeah, it's literally like saying, like, you know, when all these cop killings were coming into surface and on the social media,
Mm.
the cops, they would be like, well, there's a few bad apples, but the question is, you won't eat that bad apple, you know? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Like, are you trying to say
Like they say there's a few bad apples, but everything is all good, you know?
like basically saying that
Like,
there are like
there's
a few
there's-
bad black people?
There's a few bad cops.
Oh, okay, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that the whole tree or the
Yeah.
whole institution is rotten.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I mean, okay. So in this sense,
Oh my gosh.
men are cops. Okay, that makes a lot of. Well, you get what I'm trying to say, but I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but that's the thing. It's just like, at this point, I don't know. It's just like, you know, just
so,
crumble up the paper, throw it away, and start over at this
so
point.
in this scenario,
There you go.
women are innocent black men that are slain at the hands of, in this scenario, cops being ruthless and inconsiderate and just terrible ass fuck niggas. Gotcha. Perfect analogy.
If anybody else wanted to
Thanks for that.
take that and run with it, you can.
This is what he said. Like, you had so many analogies, and this is what you provided.
It's the best
You
one.
could have used I'm a teacher, or am a teacher. You could have said students and teachers. You could have said, like, there were so many analogies for you to go to,
Right.
but you use
I use the one that, like,
that you thought that
made the most
nation
sense.
was going to be like, oh, yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I think that I just tied everything together for them when I compared men to fuck-ass cops.
Right.
Okay. Makes sense.
Are you done? Are you done with this whole?
Hey. Okay, we can move on.
But anyways, just back to self. You talked about you don't know what you want to do. So, what are you gonna do to fix that?
Well, okay. So the reason why I'm trying to really appreciate the season of rest and peace is because when it was first presented to me, I rejected it, and that's not fair. You know what I mean? Like, I was stressing about a situation that I didn't need to, and it's like I mean, God is sovereign, and I have to trust that there's a bigger picture for me. And I do believe in coincidences. So it's no coincidence that I'm here today. It's no coincidence. I feel like it's just like the way things are working in my life. It's like I have to believe that it's all for a reason. And so it's like I'm trying to pull from like the positives in order for it to shape me better as a person. And I feel like these experiences, like for instance, I was working at a job where I was getting paid salary. And I feel like just for that fact, it's just like I cannot go back to working at Cheddar's. You see what I'm saying? It's like I have I've tasted salary. So it's like, imagine me doing something that I love. It's just kind of like, I feel like it can only go up from here. And it's just like, worst case scenario, and this is the absolute worst case scenario, if I do not find, I guess, exactly like what my passion is outside of teaching, because maybe I just wasn't a good core teacher, and that's why I was so frustrated. Like, maybe if I taught electives, you know what I'm saying, I would love it, and I would succeed, and this and that if I was in the right environment. But it's like, worst case scenario, I can always return back to what I know. So I'm not fearful of the future. I guess I'm just concerned about how it's all gonna fall into place. I guess that it's like I'm not worried. It's just like I do have concerns. You know, I don't know if that makes sense, because it's like, if you weren't concerned, you wouldn't be worried.
Sure.
But I feel like y'all know what I'm trying to say. So I know that so I guess I'm just gonna have to figure it out, like, just plain and simple. It's like I just have to just pursue new things, and like find what works for me. Like, if it's getting back to writing, if it's getting into like business, if it's just something, like I just feel like I just have to experiment and find what works for me. And I mean, that's not like a clear-cut answer. It's not, there's no formula to that. But hey, I'm still trying to find a formula to success. So
I mean, yeah, what works
so
for you?
when I find it, I'll write a book and y'all buy it. So
What works for you, right?
Exactly.
That's good. I mean, the one thing I can just say is just to be present.
Yeah.
And you're worrying about the future right now.
That's true.
So, clearly.
Be present. I like that.
Well, we're going to wrap up.
Okay.
I end the show with the words of wisdom. Do you have anything to share?
That's crazy. So on my Bible app, I just started a plan, and it was about wisdom. Wow, look at God.
What he won't do.
I guess words of wisdom would just be strive for peace in whatever fashion that is.
You just use peace, like,
well,
because
who would I be if not for peace? So hey, but yeah, I mean, just strive for peace, like in whatever fashion that is. Like, I mean, Josh says don't do self-care, or don't overly indulge in the
materialistic world,
the materialistic or materialism of self-care. But I just feel like whatever brings you peace, if it's quitting your job, if it's finding a new career, if it's cutting off fuck boys, if it's being willing to see the good in people is just find your peace. I feel like that's just my biggest takeaway, because I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I feel like that's always been my quest in life. We met on MySpace, and I remember, like, even back in those days, I would be like, my goal is to live in peace so I can die in peace and then my soul could rest in peace. Head ass. But it was just like, but I meant it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with being at peace?
Nothing.
So, hey, those are my words of wisdom. Okay, clap for me.
But anyways, if you like the show, please like it, review it, share it. Go to moreaboutsomethingelse.com. My name is Joshua, and I'm out.